We are one of the world's leading asset management centres. But what we're talking about here is looking over the next 8 to 10 years to double the assets under management, to really drive home the great advantages that London has in terms of language, time zone, the cluster, our legal system, all of those fundamentals that make London a really great place to do financial services business and asset management in particular. And I'm really pleased that we launched this campaign this week. I'm out to the States, out to the West Coast of the States and to Mexico, and next week talking about this, connecting with investors, connecting with the tech industry out there, the innovators out there, just talking about what a fantastic story London and the UK has to tell.
What are the main anxieties or pressure points when it comes to trying to lure and retain asset managers in the City of London?
Well, I think we've been through the immediate post-Brexit period, the adjustments necessary to reflect the new realities that the no longer being in the EU, and a lot of asset management companies, a lot of financial services businesses generally had to do what was necessary to continue providing servicing their businesses in Europe, and indeed the inbound business into the UK, and that required in some cases companies moving assets, booking assets in Luxembourg and Dublin, in other financial centres around Europe, and indeed in some cases actually moving small numbers of jobs. We've seen a small numbers of jobs move away, but against the backdrop of that, we've seen real strengths, the innovation, the development on the fintech side, all of those countervailing factors, which I think London, the city, is in a better place now than it was 5 years ago, and those are the factors that we'll be looking at. Those are the innovation, the environment, the great business environment we have here in the city and in the UK, across the UK. The asset management industry is a real UK-wide industry with centres of excellence in cities like Edinburgh and in Aberdeen, around the country, not just here in the city of London itself. So I think we've got a fantastic story to tell, despite the perceptions that we've been hard hit by Brexit. Yeah, the answer is we haven't actually. We're thriving, and we want to grow the industry even further.
Lord Mayor, Rosanna joining the conversation. Glad you brought up Brexit there, because fresh headlines this morning about Prime Minister Boris Johnson wanting to unleash an investment big bang in the city, a reform of rules, for example, the solvency rules. We know Bailey is behind that. But the Johnson government's been dealing with the pandemic for more or less 2 years and is now mired in scandal. So has it been there for the City of London in the way that we might expect? Well,
we've heard. It's great to see the framework coming through for the financial services settlement post-Brexit, and we really would welcome further clarity around that. We all recognise that there's things like Solvency II. You've mentioned, Rosanna, that there's a lot that can be done there. It shouldn't be easier for pension funds, for long-term savings, to be invested in the brown industries of yesterday than it is for them to invest in the green industries of tomorrow. For things like that, there's really positive steps that can be taken. We heard the direction of travel from the Chancellor here in Mansion House. I'm speaking to you from Mansion House in the heart of the City of London. He outlined the government's views back in June in his speech here in Mansion House last June. So it's great to see flesh being put on the bones there. And I really welcome the progress that we're now beginning to see on that agenda. It's necessary. And I think we'll welcome it. We'll take it with open arms.